Hainesville regular board meeting will now come to order on Tuesday, December 11th, 2012 at 7:04 p.m. If everybody will please rise and I'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Linda Soto.
Present.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Here.
Priest.
Here.
Duberstein.
Here.
Barrett.
Here.
Daly.
Here.
And Walkington.
Here.
And we are in quorum. We have a full board tonight. I'm going to move this rascal so I can see everybody. If I could have a motion for approval of tonight's agenda, please.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Priest.
Aye.
Duberstein. Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Okay, at this time, we take public comments. Anybody that wishes to address the board should have filled out a form we have in the back and turned it into our village clerk, Kathy Metzler. Do we have any takers? Going, gone. Do we have a motion for our omnibus vote agenda?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Priest.
Aye.
Duberstein. Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, we'll move on to reports and communications from the mayor and other officers, and we'll be starting with our village engineer, Greg Rowan.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a couple items this month. There were some questions about upcoming improvements that might affect the village of Hainesville from IDOT and Lake County DOT. Mayor and I went to an informational meeting, and essentially for Route 120, the Route 120 resurfacing is in the IDOT's 5-year plan. According to their staff, it's in, they quote, the latter half of the 5-year plan. So we would expect something maybe 2016 by the earliest to get Route 120 resurfaced. They also have a separate project to be putting in a right turn lane in front of the Walgreens. That would be for westbound Route 120 traffic heading north onto Hainesville Road. Basically, they're in a preliminary design phase, which is they're acquiring right-of-way, doing cost estimates, and securing a grant in order to get that work done. They did say that they anticipate moving forward with the final design in the summer of 2013, and I'd expect a 2014 construction date for that particular project. As far as Lake County DOT is concerned, for Washington Street, they actually have a couple of projects that are going to be out to bid spring of 2013. Cedar Lake to Hainesville Road widening to a 5-lane section is going to be out to bid this spring 2013 with a late summer, early fall construction scheduled for 2013. The next leg is Hainesville Road to Harrion Way. That's also being bid this spring, also with we're anticipating construction starting late summer, early fall. And then the Harrion Way to Lake Street, which is the bypass underneath the railroad tracks, that project has been delayed to 2014 or later. We're actually meeting with Lake County DOT to get some of these dates firmed up. That meeting is going to be on Thursday. There's also some cost impacts with the Hainesville Road to Harrion Way. A few months ago, maybe a couple of years ago, they had approached us with this project, and we have a force main that is likely in the way of their improvements. And as part of moving that force main outside of the road pavement, the village would be obligated to pay for that cost. So that'll be a discussion item for Thursday.
And I'm going to elaborate that on a little more. I spoke with Lake County DOT in preparation of the meeting, which will be here Thursday morning, and expressed concerns because the timeline has changed. we knew that the force main was going to have to be moved, but it was quite a shock that they have moved up the timeline significantly and then put the other timeline back on the underpass.
The original plan was to get the Harry Way to Lake Street underpass done. For whatever reason, that we find out on Thursday, that project has been delayed, and they moved up the other two sections of the Washington Street.
And I did express to Lake County DOT that we have concerns, we're working on the budget right now, and that this could have a negative impact on the village to have to deal with that cost much sooner than expected. So at least preliminarily on the phone, they seem willing to work through that or help us with that in some way. Now, what that way means, I don't know. We will find that out Thursday, and I will report to the board.
Greg, I don't know if you'll know the answer to this, but in moving that, is there any way to get ahead of the curve? I mean, can we do it, let's say we had the money, could we start working on that now? Or is it something that has to fit in like a piece of a puzzle with their whole plan?
Yeah, we had talked about that when there were two options. Option one is to pay Lake County to go ahead and move it. It would be a part of a larger bid, and it would be a specific line item that you would be responsible for. Or the second option was to pay Manhart Consulting to engineer it, redesign it, permit it, manage it, and move it yourselves ahead of time. Basically, by letting Lake County do it and paying it on a line item basis, you would avoid all the soft costs, which would be, construction management, surveying, engineering, those kind of items. So we thought it'd be best to have it incorporated into the larger bid.
And that may work to our advantage also as far as when we have to pay Lake County.
Correct.
Never. On the right of way on Hainesville, are they also going to include a left turn lane and an arrow at that light?
No, all they indicated is just a right turn.
Turn right.
Turning northbound on the Hainesville Road.
Not enough traffic
They
going
want a
on.
left turn lane, don't you?
I just want
Especially
to,
if it's over, so.
why shouldn't you? They're going to do the work anyway. The left turn lane is there.
I'm with you,
The lights
Gary.
are there.
I hear you. I have stressed in every way.
So maybe Thursday we can stick a nickel in their ear.
Yeah, but and I don't think Lake County DOT would argue it, but it's IDOT, right?
Correct, it would be.
Well, they gotta get permission to do the other one too, right? If it's IDOT, they still gotta get permission to do that. Why not include it in the same package?
That'll be something we can look into with our friends at IDOT.
Well, I know the right turn lane would improve traffic flow, eliminate a lot of cut-throughs through the neighborhood, during peak times, but I don't see why they couldn't put a left turn lane in there.
Well, the lane is there.
The lane is there,
The
you just
arrow,
need an arrow.
the arrow.
Yeah,
I mean, you
control
can
it.
sit there forever and not be able to turn left.
I know.
The other traffic gets to go first, so. Okay.
So you shoot yourself in the foot, let's put the arrow in there.
And a bunch of relatives to start using that left turn, somebody fills up with traffic now.
I can park out there too if you can't be paying, but it's beside me.
Greg, anything else on your report?
Finally, we had a generator project that was out there for a backup generator to be installed at the village hall, and then an alternate price to put an additional generator in the public works facility. Chris Electric was the low bidder, and Eric from Chris Electric is here to answer any questions. Basically, it came in substantially less than all the other his competitors. We did review the scope of work. We had a pre-bid meeting to inspect the site and make sure that all the work items are covered. And he assured us that he had everything included. So we recommend awarding the contract to Chris Electric, and if you want to do the public works facility, that option is available also.
Well, and we'll cover that more when we get to the actual business item, because there's some comments and discussion I want to have with the board. Anything else, Greg?
That is all.
Our village attorney, Jim Rock.
This month we prepared the license for storage space that's on the business portion of the agenda tonight. Also prepared a whistleblower protection policy, a draft policy as recommended by the village's auditors. And we reviewed the residential hauling proposal for, it's also on the agenda tonight. Any questions? That's all I have, thank you.
Public Works Superintendent, Jeff Gates.
Thank you, Mayor. Excuse me. Public Works has been actually quite busy. I've been doing a lot of work aiding with this 5-year garbage contract that you had before. We've been working together with Walter Willis, trying to get everything done. And I think we've come up with a fantastic contract here. I think we agree. Obviously, we've been busy doing the holiday decorations throughout the village hall here, a little bit next door.
You missed my house.
I'm sorry. Yours actually looks quite nice. I will say that. If for some reason we get snow, today we have delivered 500 gallons of our beet juice, which is in the building, ready to go. So, dare I say this, I'd like to have a little bit. I know Dave Schultz has all of his trucks equipped with tanks now. So we will be pre-treating the salt as it's spraying out of the street. So new technology makes the salt work better. It actually makes it work a lot better at lower temperatures. I've been doing quite a bit of work getting the budget together. I'm probably about 3/4 of the way through at this time. One thing we're going to have to look at, we're having an issue with well 1. It appears, we've had a couple of issues. We've had the chlorine float switch has been getting stuck on. We've figured out what the problem is. The screen that's on the actual well is starting to deteriorate and it's getting sucked up into the system. The float switch for the chlorine pump has a baffle on it. What's happening is these things are slamming into the baffle. It's not going to baffle off and leaving the chlorine pump stuck on. We can fix this temporarily. The system does have a screen to prevent items from actually entering the water system. Unfortunately, the way the system was designed way back when, this switch is on the wrong side of the actual system screen. So we're intending to take this switch and actually move it to the other side so the debris will actually hit the screen and stop knocking the panel off. It's going to be a temporary fix. So probably springtime, we're going to want to pull the pump, the well pump, and have the screen, checked out. So I'm getting quotes to see what that's going to cost, so we can add that into a budget. We'll be able to wait until next year for that. That's not a pressing issue, as long as we can get this in.
But you're moving this house soon,
We're hoping within the next week or so. As soon as we can get the tools available.
Is there some sort of protection against over-chlorinating the water?
I do not know if we have an actual alarm that would detect a super high level. You would certainly smell it.
Not everybody would know.
Before.
They would smell it, but would they know it not? Can it, in its current condition, or it gets, the paddle gets knocked off again, can the water get over-chlorinated to a point that it might be dangerous to the residents?
It could. The odds of that happening are extremely rare because we would smell. I mean, I know I would personally. It would be.
Fortunately, our public works superintendent also lives in our town.
Yeah, so I mean, I would know something's going on. If you walk, I've had actually one resident called the first time this happened and said, it smells like a swimming pool. That would be